All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for clicking on the video. Have you ever been on Instagram or Facebook or some sort of social media and you see a product that pops up in an ad? You think, that looks pretty cool, and you make the mistake of clicking on it. And I say the mistake because as soon as you click on it, that's it. It is attached to your social media, your profile, and you're going to see ads for this every 2 seconds. So that's what happened with this. This is the R36S Gaming Console. It's a handheld gaming console that you've probably seen show up a million times on your feed if you have any interest in retro gaming. So the product kept showing up over and over again. The price was right. This is a 64 gig. It came with a 64 gig memory card, and it's preloaded with over 15,000 games on it. So it includes the Mortal Kombat games, and that is ultimately why I ended up buying this. So this was, I purchased this probably 8 weeks ago or so. It took forever to get to me. I was stuck in New Jersey for like 5 weeks or something. It was ridiculous. But anyways, I ended up getting it yesterday. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So today we're just gonna show off some of the things that are included in this handheld system. I've seen other YouTubers review this. I don't know if it's the exact same product, but I know Headlock Gaming reviewed one just a couple days ago. Michael Lohman, aka Mel, he reviewed one of these before, and Neon Bitchy, I'm pretty sure she reviewed a couple of these handheld products as well. So how do they hold up? They're relatively cheap in price. Like I said, this one cost me about $100 Canadian. And for what's included on it and the quality, I mean, I think it's actually a really good deal. I played around with this a lot yesterday night, and I was pretty impressed with it. The holding it and stuff, like where the buttons are, especially the shoulder buttons, I find are a little odd. But it's about the size of a Game Boy, and they did a really good job on it. So we're going to just look at some of the stuff that's included on this now. We're going to play, not any entire games or anything, but we're going to showcase what this has to offer. And if I recommend it, I'll tell you right now, I do. If you love console gaming, retro gaming, and if you love handhelds are very dear to me, and I'll let you know why while we review the product and start playing some of the games on it. So if you clicked on the video, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Let's get into some of the gameplay. All right, so here it is. Being a handheld, it's a little tough to get footage of it, but I will do my best. So let's turn this on. Okay, the boot up screen, the R36S open source console. So this runs a Raspberry Pi, I believe. I'm not sure which Raspberry Pi it is, but I know the intro here is definitely a Raspberry Pi. So it starts off with some funky music. Now the camera itself right now does not do this justice. We'll see if we can get it close enough that you can kind of see what's going on here. I'll turn that down too. So the battery life on this, I don't know what the battery life is like either. I'm assuming it's pretty good. I mean, it's just a handheld. It's got a rechargeable battery in here. But you'll notice, so this comes preloaded. Like I said, 15,000 games. You got 1,900 arcade games there. You have the TurboGrafx 16, the Famicom, so the Japanese Nintendo, the Japanese Super Nintendo, you have the original Nintendo, and you have the Super Nintendo, just games galore. The Nintendo 64, 187 games. Now, the Nintendo 64, I played on this yesterday, and it doesn't handle the N64 very well. So you can pretty much delete all those if you want. Tons of Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. The Nintendo DS doesn't seem to work very well on it. Mega Drive. The Mega Drive actually crashed on me last night. I went to play a game and it just froze. And, you'll encounter stuff like that every once in a while. It's not a big deal. The Dreamcast works fine. Game Gear works good. Neo Geo games work great. Even the PlayStation works pretty good. Sony PSP. I don't know what the Easy RPG is. I think it's like a homebrew role-playing game. Options, RetroArch, all games, etc., etc. You got favorites also. Now, I added a couple games in the favorites just to showcase for this video. So first things first, I'm going to go right to the Mortal Kombats. Now, you'll notice Final Fantasy Legend 2. That is my favorite Game Boy game of all time. I love it. When I was younger, I used to play role-playing games all the time, and I absolutely love them. And then it's got some good arcade games here. These were preloaded too, like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. And it gives a preview of the game too for some of them. But Michael Jackson's Moonwalker was cool. I don't remember playing it in the arcade, to be honest. But this is the, to me, this is the price right here. So $100. It's got the Mortal Kombats in it. MK4, it has the PlayStation version. And Trilogy, it has the PlayStation version. You know what? They work fantastic. So how do these games run on here? Let's go to my favorite, first and foremost, Mortal Kombat 2. Now, as you can see, my hands are, you know, pretty much the size of the system. But how does this one play? It plays how you think it would. Turn it up a bit here. It plays good. I did have to remap the buttons. But as you can see, the screen is actually even better than it looks in this video. Not that it looks great in this video. Liu Kang. But the sound on this is pretty powerful too. It's just a tiny little speaker in the middle, but it actually really projects sound really good. Now, the biggest issue I have for like Mortal Kombat is the block button being the shoulder buttons. The shoulder buttons aren't actually shoulder buttons because they're on the back. But I mean, I'm going away in April. This is going to be great for the plane ride. And ultimately, these old school like retro, like these handheld retro systems, in my opinion, they're more, in my case, for, you know, replaying like Super Nintendo games from my past that were, here we go. Excellent. There's the fatality. And if you push select and the A button, then you can pause any game you're playing. So if it's the arcade, whatever you want, you can pause. If you hold the R trigger plus select, it'll save states. So you can jump back into a game later on, for instance. So to get out of the game, select and start twice, and then you're back into the menu. So again, like I said, these come preloaded. If you buy the pack that comes with like a memory card, they're preloaded with games already, and the odds are the game that you want to play will be there, in fact. So the Mortal Kombats run fine. They do run well. Even the Trilogy runs good. For the PS, the PlayStation on it runs well. I don't know why they put Pit Fighter as one of the games that you know, they put under favorites. There's a lot of weird ones here that I probably wouldn't play a lot of. And I tell you, probably 90% of the games on here I probably won't even end up playing. But you know, all your favorites are here. Super Mario All-Stars, I played a bit of that yesterday for the Super Nintendo, and they all run fantastic. You know, you got Tekken 3 here. Let's jump into Tekken 3. I'm not sure if I'm in the middle of the save, but again, too, the screen is actually a lot more vibrant. Yeah, you can see I'm already in it. So, Eddie Gordo, love Tekken 3, but you can see this runs fantastic, and this is the PlayStation version. I believe the arcade version is on here too, and if not, there's always ways to include these games. But overall, the button layout, the D-pad is nice. Look at that. Look at this game. Oh, I love this game. The D-pad is nice. The analog sticks are nice. They're also you can push them in. Everything feels good. It is cheap. As you can tell, it's definitely a cheaper piece of equipment, hardware, but it actually feels pretty good. And as long as you, you know, as long as you're careful with your stuff and you take care of it, this is actually very cool to have, just as a collector's item, I think. Just so you can jump back into, you know, your retro games if you want to play them at any time. And again, you can pause any game you're playing. There is like menus too, you know, depending on what you want. And Yeah, there's a lot of options and settings too. So let's get out of this game. Let's show a couple other ones. Obviously, it runs like old systems like the Nintendo. You know, let's go into the Nintendo, for instance. And then if you push select, you can go to right to the oh, you know what? I'll run numbers. Oh, so these are all numbered. Okay, so let's see. Is Ninja Gaiden? Yeah, so Ninja Gaiden, or Ninja Gaiden, whatever you call it, that's in there. But this was one of my favorite games growing up. Super friggin' hard, but a definite classic. And again, it looks better on screen than my video shows here. Shadow Warriors, what the heck is that? Okay, I don't know what that is. I thought it was the... Interesting. Oops. Oh, but they're different. I don't know, maybe this is a Japanese version. Maybe this is a Shadow Warriors in Japan or something. Yeah, and I'm playing through the phone camera right now. That's why I'm sucking so bad. This game is, yeah, it's very, yeah, I'm looking ridiculous right now. It's hard to play the way I am. But anyways, it's on here. This is a great game from my past. And it runs, you know, it runs perfect on here, like it should. So that's another cool one. And like I said, if you push the R button and select, you can actually save wherever you want. But like I said, if you're into retro gaming, I mean, the odds of the game you want to play being on here, it's probably on here. It actually has a bunch of other systems that aren't... there's no games for, so you're not going to see it pop up. But the, you know, the Sega CD, it's on here. The original Master System is on here. The Neo Geo games are awesome. Overall, I am very impressed. Very impressed with it, and it's a cool piece of hardware. And I'm telling you right now, I do recommend it. It's very cool. One of my favorite games from my past. Was Bust a Move. This is, I think, the Japanese version. I don't know if you remember this game. But, this is one of my favorite puzzle games. The sound is messed up here. I believe I gotta reset it. There you go. And again, I pop your quarters in. So this is the Japanese version. But do you remember this one? You probably do. And again, I'm playing through the camera's picture here, so it's a little off. I swear, I'm actually pretty good at this game. I'm definitely sucking at all these games right now, though. There you go. Anyways, that's another cool one. And then you got the, you know, you got other arcade classics like Ninja Turtles and such. It's all there. Street Fighter, Ninja Turtles, etc., etc. I put the Game Boy version of Tetris as one of my favorites. Let's jump into this. I do believe I'm in the middle of the game on this one, too. Like I said, last night I was just playing around with it. Here we go. Reset that. Does the old ROM check as if it's booting up the arcade. There we go. Ooh, that's loud. Awesome. Cowabunga, throw your quarters in and get playing. And again, you have the option to use the analog, the D-pad. As far as I'm concerned, this would be a great thing to have, like, depending on what your job is, you know, you could always just duck out in the bathroom and, and play. Not that I encourage it or anything, but, you know, it's cool to have. So, I'm using the analog right now. A little better. If you do push in the analog too, it gives you the you know, dip switches and such. But this was one of my favorites growing up, the Ninja Turtles arcade game. And there you have it, the arcade version in all its glory. And like I said, if you want, pause it, do your thing, do your business, whatever you need. So there you have it. You kind of get the gist of what the system is about, what it offers. You know, if you are wondering too, on the back there is R1, R2, L1, L2, but the positioning of it is really weird, like just the way your fingers sit on it and such. So it's not the most comfortable for playing like Mortal Kombat, etc. Like Mortal Kombat 3, for instance, it's a tough one. I got Ultimate on there too. I didn't put it in favorites. I should have. I mean, it is one of my favorites, but yeah, let's jump into MK3 here just to conclude the showcasing of this product. Now, there's a lot of options. A lot of things can go wrong with this too if you're like pushing a bunch of buttons and you adjust settings and such. So I don't toggle with many of the settings, or I haven't on this. I don't want to mess it up because it's running fine right now. I don't want to accidentally do something or change a setting that's going to mess the system up itself. So if you do get one, be careful with that. Let's turn this up. But there you have it. I mean, this runs great. Let's do one fatality. Finish this. And again, so if I hold it out, yeah, it's not focused, but if I hold it out here, you can see the size, right? It's like the size of a Game Boy. Do one match. And again, the positioning of the block button and the run can be a little awkward. You can see the screen shaking all over the place here. But if you get used to that, I'm sure you're good. I mean, it's definitely a lot easier if you're not playing through the screen of the camera. Well done. There we go. Can we do a fatality? Let's see. No, we couldn't because of my positioning of the hands. Let's try that again. It's an easy fatality, so I'm gonna do it on Jax. Yeah, push and block here is a pain in the neck. You really have to get your hands in a certain position to comfortably push the block and run wherever you like your block and run buttons. But as you can see, it runs flawlessly, right? Like, this is a game that's been done over and over again. On systems like this. There we go. Oh, I got my finger off block again. Anyways, you get the idea. We're going to leave it at that. Yeah, so there you have it, the R36S. Let's quickly talk about it. So there you have it. Not a bad little product to have in your collection. This portable gaming console, the R36S. I definitely recommend it. I think it's pretty solid. I don't know if you were to drop it, it would probably shatter into a million pieces, but you know, take care of it, and I'm sure you'll have many hours and months and years of use of this bad boy. So it includes a lot. There's a lot that's already, as long as you get the package that comes with the memory card, then the odds are you're gonna have a ton of games already preloaded on there, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff on there. It definitely, in my opinion, it's more for like if you love the handhelds growing up, or you know, the like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo kind of thing, it runs those flawlessly, and you know, because of the button layout and everything, it's really good for games like that. As you can see, Mortal Kombat was a little awkward with the buttons, with the back, you know, the shoulder buttons for block and run. So I mean, they're there. If you get used to it, then you know, you can play those games for hours too. Truth is, I probably won't use it a heck of a lot. Like I said, I'm going away in April, so it's going to be a fun little thing to take with me and just kind of have for the plane ride and such. But, you know, when you're at home, the odds are you're going to be playing, you know, systems on your TV and such. So, Ultimately, overall for a handheld, very good piece of equipment, and yeah, I really like it. So I'm glad I purchased it, and yeah, that's all I got to say about this. So if you watched the video, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, and hopefully you pick up one of these because yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. So enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching the video.